Hey, Rich,
Hey, Michael.
and welcome everybody to BitPunch Radio episode 059. On tonight's episode, Rich, I'm in the middle of watching 4 animes right now. We're
Okay.
gonna have to talk about this a little bit. You're 60 hours into Cyberpunk. We're gonna talk a little Arcane. Obviously, get into some Brandon Sanderson stuff. Um, and I've been playing some video games. Got that Steam Deck. Been wearing that thing out. Uh, this might be the first time I turned my computer on since our last podcast.
Oh no.
I'm pretty much all in on that thing
Oh
now.
boy. Oh boy.
A little bit of news to talk about, and I think that's gonna be it. So let's dive in. You want to start?
Sure.
What's been
Sure.
going on?
Um, I am nothing a whole lot new since the last time. A lot of family stuff and holidays.
Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving?
Pretty good. Pretty good. We traveled to West Virginia with my in-laws
Nice.
and did Thanksgiving there. So that was good. Um, but didn't get a lot of reading in during that trip. A lot of
Mm,
kids and just played a lot of pool. There was a pool table at the Airbnb we stayed at, so
okay. Do you
kicked
have a
my.
history of playing pool?
I had a pool table in my basement when I was growing up,
Okay.
so I kicked the shit out of my two brother-in-laws at pool until like 2 a.m. every night.
Nice.
So that was pretty fun. But yeah, haven't didn't make as much Oathbringer progress as I really wanted
Ah,
to.
yeah.
That book is just a monster of a
It
book.
might be the longest book I've ever read.
Oh man, it just eh, I've been listening the last couple weeks. I've been listening more than reading,
Mm.
which is kind of slowing down my progress a little bit. Um, and every time I like open the Kindle app to like start reading, and it shows me how far I am, I feel like I should be like 20% farther than what I am.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I should be like 70% in, and it's like, oh, you're 48%. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh,
Yeah, it's like
okay.
1,300 and something pages. I can't think of a book. Stephen King's got a couple big ones out there, but I do think Oathbringer was the longest book that I've read.
Yeah, but I'm plugging away at that. That is it's just long, man, and there's
Yeah,
just so much happening, and
yeah,
he's just throwing so much at you. I feel like in this book more than any of the others so far, he's really switching between characters a lot, like within the same scene. So you kind of get to see the same scene from different perspectives.
yeah. Right.
Um, and that just adds to the page length here. But getting to learn a whole lot more about Dalinar and his past and
Yeah,
some of the some of the shit that he's done and kind of uh just a terrible person.
he's pretty dark.
Um yeah, that part I was listening to that part while I was driving back from West
Hmm.
Virginia. It was just like, I think we need to pull over. I need to process what just happened here. Uh this man just burnt an entire city to the ground.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that was pretty rough. Um, but still, it's a fantastic book so far. I'm 80% in now, so I feel like I'm nearing the Sanderlanche territory
Yeah,
the
it just
redditors call this.
goes nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where it's just the floodgates are gonna open. Um, I feel like his writing is getting better, like as he goes. Like a lot of the conversations anytime Wit shows up, I'm is my favorite part of any of
right.
these books so far. Um, there's
Oh,
been
his
some really
banter is so witty
it
and just it's
he
it's
I feel
like.
like he likes writing Wit the most, and
Hmm.
I feel like Wit is like Brandon, like
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's his voice in the story to me.
yeah. I think his humor characters are always like even in like Star or oh my gosh, what am I
Or
blanking on it? Yeah.
Skyward.
Yeah, Skyward. Even in that series, the Reckoning series, like those, like it's just like his humor's like it's not over the top funny. It's just really clever. The
Yeah,
the way that he writes his characters.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I
there's been some really good quotes where I had to like pause the audiobook and say, okay, what chapter is this in, so I can go back and grab it, um, and like save it for later.
I actually love
Um,
when Kindle will underline quotes and
yes,
in certain things for you, and like
yes,
I pay attention, but like I pay attention to those a little more, and I'm like, yeah, like 700 people have underlined this. It's like, yeah, that was pretty good.
yeah. There's some good quotes in there. I've got a couple here that I figured I'd pull out. Um, one of Wit's quotes while he's talking to Shallan in Kolinar. That's a really great conversation between those two. He says, "The longer you live, the more you fail. Failure is the mark of a life well lived. In turn, the only way to live without failure is to be of no use to anyone."
Mm.
That's a deep two sentences right there. Like as he's like talking to Shallan, because I feel like in this book more than any, he's really um focusing on all these characters' flaws. Like this entire book is about how terrible of a person Dalinar is, like how conflicted Shallan is about her
Hmm.
past, how like broken Kaladin is about not being able to save people. Like and some of it's a little on the nose, I think. Like when that little trio shows up to, I guess it's more than a trio. When they show up in Kolinar, and Kaladin immediately starts befriending these guys on the wall, these soldiers. I'm like,
Yeah,
all these people are gonna die, and he's gonna be broken, and
yeah,
that's what happens. And but that's like part of his character, you know.
right.
But I feel like he's really focusing on that with all these people, Adolin killing Sadius and his flaws. Like it's just really that seems to be the theme of this book is the character's flaws and kind of shortcomings
Hmm.
and how they're going to react to those. Um, let's see, there was another one. Talinar had a great quote. Sometimes a hypocrite is nothing more than a man in the process of changing.
Mm.
That's a pretty good one. And then one of my favorites, as Dalinar is talking to Lift, he
Oh,
says,
okay.
your name is Lift, right?" She says, "Right." And Dalinar says, "And your order, like Herb Knight's Radiant?" And she
Hmm.
says, "More food."
I like Lyft.
Lift
We
is
need
great.
we
She is not in this book enough so far.
right.
She needs to be in this
Like
book a
maybe a
lot more.
chapter or two. She wasn't in there. Yeah, you're right. She wasn't in there
Yeah,
long, but
yeah, yeah. But no, it's moving right along. I just got to keep plugging away at it. Hopefully, I can sit down and actually read some of it. Um, but yeah, I'm still enjoying it. It is a very big book, though.
yeah.
Very big.
Yeah. Um book wise, I made it halfway through that Babel book, which um is written by the author that wrote the Poppy War. I think the Poppy War is a trilogy, very well regarded. Babel came out this year. It's actually fairly new. And I made it about halfway through and thought it was pretty interesting. But it started dragging on me, and then Libby's like, "Hey, the Hero of Ages is available," and so I had to make a call. I was like, "Okay, I'm kind of liking this book, but I don't care enough about it. I would rather read the Hero of Ages." So I sent it back and I DNF'd it, and now
Oh no.
I'm about 60% into the Hero of Ages. So I've had it for 2 weeks now. It's a pretty lengthy book too. I think that one's it just shy over 800 pages. So
Yep.
it's yeah, it's. I've noticed like the first two, I could read. This will. I'm a slow reader. I can read 1% in less than 10 minutes. So then it's like, okay, well, I can
Yeah.
read,
Right.
10% of the book in an hour and a half or something, roughly. It takes me about 12 to 13 minutes to get through like 1%. And I was just like, why is that? I feel like I thought that they were similar lengths, but no, this one is a couple hundred pages longer.
Yeah.
Um, man, this book, like, just, I had to reread a section because I didn't quite understand what happened when Kelsier just came back. And I was just like, wait, what did I miss? And it was Tinsoon ended up like consuming his bones and stuff. And like I know that he like not Breeze is he who is it? Who am I thinking of? The guy that's hearing Kelsier.
Oh,
Um
Spook.
Spook, yeah. So like
Yeah.
I know that was going on, but then I must have like I don't know, just Tinsoon consuming those bones of Kelsier and then pretending to be him and like telling all those people like not to worry. I was like, what? Wait, what just happened there? And then they
Yeah,
explains
yeah.
it like, okay, puts the bones back. It didn't
Yep.
seem like he took those bones with him, so like maybe that won't happen again. But um, Ven is trapped, and I don't know what's gonna happen there. Um,
Okay,
there's
so
just
she got trapped after going to try to basically make a deal with that guy, with her and Ellen. I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeoman.
Yeoman. Yes,
Yeah,
Yeoman. Have you read any farther after she's trapped?
I'm there. I'm like right there,
Oh, okay. Okay,
dude.
so yeah,
I
it
like
you're at it. Like you're at it. Like from here on out,
it's
it's
just right.
balls to the wall. Yeah, it's fucking I mean, just prepare yourself.
All right.
Because as soon as this next chapter starts, if this next chapter starts with Vin, it's on like Donkey Kong.
All right.
Like it's gonna be like an immediate revelation, like right from the get go there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving Ellen. I'm loving or Alon or however you say his name. I'm loving like
Elland. Yeah.
I'm loving all those characters like from the beginning of the book and just like how they've grown. Um when they went back to that ball, that was so fun. I loved it. I
Yes.
loved when Vin just got on her high horse and started threatening all those women and just so much stuff is happening there. I love the ball scene. Like that's
Yes.
probably one of my favorite scenes from this book so far is them
Yeah.
just going back to that because that was so I mean, you spent so much time in these different like grand balls from the first book and then, the second book
Mhm.
didn't really have it cuz the whole world's in chaos and now it's like, well, there's this town to the north and they still hold these balls. It's just
Right.
really really
Like
cool.
holding on to the past. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Did you I
And
think you've
man,
already passed
the
this part.
the Quinn, I don't know how you pronounce his name, like Quinlan or something like that.
Quinlan. Yeah,
Yeah,
Quinlan.
Quinlan. When Ellen and like his posse go to talk to him and Quinlan just shits all over him and he's just like, you're no better than these people. You destroyed the Lord Ruler, yet you're not doing anything better than what even he was doing. Then comes to find out, like you start seeing these prophecies, like the Lord Ruler was actually trying to be a good person. And it's just like, what? Like,
Yes.
oh my gosh. It
Yeah. You
just
need to
like
yeah.
he went crazy trying to control everything. And it's just like, oh my god, like it's what so I've searched Brandon Sanderson on TikTok a couple times. So now I'm kind of getting bombarded with these different TikToks and someone made a pretty good point, which I've kind of thought this too. Um and just knowing how Brandon Sanderson is, you can tell he planned this whole series out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he's not one of those authors that just like and he can do this now because of no, he had that planned out. Like he
Yep.
knew exactly beat for beat how this whole story was going to play out, and you can tell. Like nothing seems out of place. Nothing makes you like, that doesn't make sense. Everything makes sense. Everything fits together like a fucking puzzle. It is wild, like how well this series is written. It makes me want to jump straight into the second one or the second like trilogy or
Yeah.
quadrilogy now since with the Lost Metals, but
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's some really great parts in that third book. Um, you should really pay attention. I think you've gotten to this part where like Elend and his soldiers, like he made them go out into the mist,
yeah, yeah.
and
And
they're studying the
the
mist.
percentage of I
Pay
don't get
very
that. I
close
don't
attention.
understand that.
Pay very close attention to what's happening there because that will end up being very important.
Yeah, so
I
it's
I almost missed it the first time, but it goes out of its way to explain it once it
okay.
brings it
Because I
to the
know it was like
forefront.
it's a math problem right now.
Yeah.
It's like 8 or
Yep.
6 or 16% of everything that happened, or like 16% of people that go out end up getting whatever it is, they're cursed or something. But then like there's a certain percentage of them that make it. Um,
Yep.
some of them are dying, maybe. Like I don't know.
There's a
It's
very
very
specific
vague.
reason of what's happening there,
Okay, but
and
it lays it out.
it does. It
Okay,
does.
yeah.
Um, Also, I love there's a really good Cosmere call out. I think you've already passed where Set, he's like the other general guy that they fought in the second book. That's a cripple. He when Vin first goes into Fadric City, that city to the north,
Hmm.
um, she tells him, "Oh, hey, you should go talk to this guy named Hoyd. Like you should go talk to this guy named Hoyd and he'll give you some information about like this what's going on at these balls and stuff." And
Yeah,
Vin gets into the city and she's like, "Oh, there's that Hoyd guy." Like she found him and she was like,
she doesn't
"Hmm,
talk to him.
something's off with that guy." She
Yeah,
literally says like, "I don't like the feeling that guy gives me." And then she goes the
yeah.
other way.
So she had to talk to two people. She talked to
Yeah.
one of them, and
Yep.
then when she went to Hoyd, I was just like, "Oh, okay. Is this happening?" And then she didn't
Yeah.
talk to him, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Hold on, what? Did I miss
I
something
I
there?"
I thought that was really funny because I
Yeah,
had known who Hoyd was, not
right.
quite like his wit character, I guess, but
Yeah,
um, yeah, I thought that was a good little touch.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I at some point am gonna have to go into the second era and read all those. Um, I think after Oathbringer, I'm gonna take a break from
Yeah.
Sanderson.
I actually
Um,
have the Audible version of uh the fourth book. I have it. I
oh, okay,
just I just don't know when I want to start it. Like
yeah.
I'm so invested. I'm invested in both worlds. But right now I'm just like, and then
I will
knowing that
I
it's
will
set
say
like,
that I will say that Hero of Ages ends in a way that it does end. I mean, it does set up obviously the second era, but it's not like a cliffhanger where you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna feel this
oh,
huge
okay.
need to like jump forward after you read the last page of that
Gotcha.
book. Um,
I honestly I really want to read The Lost Metal. So that's why I'm like, plus they're 400 pages. So the
right? They
fact that
are
I could,
they are smaller.
yeah, the fact that I could burn through 3 books, or I could read, you know, Rhythm of War, like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of like I don't know what I want to do. So, and then when do we get his first book? Does it come out in January, or is it?
Um,
I'm not even sure.
I can't remember. He went over some of that stuff a week or so ago, and I do not remember.
And I know we geek out like over Brandon Sanderson, like over these past like 10 episodes of the podcast, but it's just what we're in the middle of reading right now. We'll geek out on freaking John Gwynn when the third Bloodsworn
Oh
comes
man,
out. So
yeah.
um but yeah, I'm like in a weird way, I'm looking forward to his wrap up blog post. Those are so
Oh
fun to
yeah,
read.
yeah.
And I can't wait to, just see like what are his plans for next year, like loosely. Something TV is going to happen, and I really want to know what that is. So,
Yep. Yeah, that's
um,
it sounds like that's gonna come, like, within the next 6 months.
like they're gonna. I think that we'll at least know what it is because are they filming? Are they just keeping it a secret or what?
I think he said, like, 3 or 4 months ago, he would be surprised if they weren't filming, like, that time, like, in 2023, so, like, 3rd quarter of 2023.
Oh,
So
okay,
I
all
feel
right.
like
We'll
by
know
the end of the 1st
something.
quarter, we'll get, like, a trailer with, like, a logo, you
Oh,
know,
sure.
or, like, a teaser.
You think it'll be
Yeah.
Mistborn, or you think it'll be Stormlight?
I think it'll be Mistborn. I think if you're gonna do Stormlight, you're really committed
Right.
to, like it's a much bigger story, and also I feel like it'd be a lot more expensive
Yeah.
of a story to do because of just all the armor and swords and the sprint and all
Spren.
that.
Yeah.
Like that would be rough. Like you could do a cool Mistborn story, you know. Uh, yeah, like all the Mistborn stuff would be hard to do, like the pushing and pulling. But
Dude,
I don't know.
give me an animated one. Like, just give me a good animated Mistborn,
That's
and
what.
I would be happy
Yeah,
about that.
that's what people have said about Stormlight. They hope that Stormlight is an anime.
Yeah,
I don't think that'll
Mistborn
happen.
would probably work better live action, but Stormlight, I don't know if they would commit to doing a like a cartoon of that, just because it's such an expansive world. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I feel bad because I guess Babel is like, very well regarded, and it's about it's about like infusing like translated words into actual metal to make them do things. But it just seemed fine, but it's not what I really just want to get through this series. So maybe I'll pick
Yeah.
it back up at some point, but it's gonna be a while. Talk to me about Cyberpunk.
Oh man, I am. I don't remember if I made it to this point by the last podcast, but I've made it to the like last main mission.
Yeah, I think you were there
Um,
last time.
okay, yeah. Where it's like you're at the point of no return, go do all the other shit. So that's what I've been doing. Been going and doing all the other shit. I'm so overpowered at this point. I can literally walk into anywhere and I just hack everybody to death in like 10 seconds, and it's fun. Really fun to do that. It's kind of like when you're really OP in like
Yeah.
Skyrim and you just walk in and just destroy everybody.
Yep.
Um, that game is fantastic. It's such a 180 from how I felt about it when it launched. I've not I'm like 60 hours into it. I've not gotten that into a game in a while, and it's just every time I play it, I find some little nook in that city that's like, oh, this is fucking like a cool little
Mhm.
place, Like I don't know. Um, I'm enjoying the hell out of that. And that DLC, the DLC for Cyberpunk comes out sometime soon.
Oh wow. Okay.
Should look up when that comes out. Let's see here.
Is it
Fact checking for
story? Are
a
they
podcast.
bringing back
It's a
Johnny?
story, like it's an expansion, so it comes out in 2023. I don't
Oh,
know
okay.
if announced an exact date, but I I have done all the gigs. I've done.
Wow.
I need to do like all the side jobs. That's all I have left, and then I've done everything you can do pretty much in that game. Um, so I'm gonna try to get through that here through the end of the year, and then probably put it down and wait for the expansion to come out and see how that does,
Mhm.
and then maybe pick it back up again then. I've been kind of keeping my eye on some of the releases lately. I didn't buy anything during the Steam sale. I
Wow.
There was nothing. It was
Mm.
really funny. You had actually messaged me on Discord and you're like, Steam sale, go. And I was like, okay. And I opened up Steam and like right at the top, it always has like the three games like at the top. And it was Rainbow Six Siege, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Skyrim. And I was like, why are those the three games at the top of this
Yeah, that
list?
seems
Like,
weird.
who
Who
hasn't played
doesn't
all
own
three of
who
those?
doesn't own 9 copies of Skyrim at this point?
Like, and then I like scrolled once and saw nothing, and I was like, this is all
Mm.
the same stuff from the last time. I
Right.
know. And Miles Morales wasn't on sale, so I was like, whatever. That was the
Right.
one thing that
Yeah.
I might have picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It works on Steam Deck. I would have bought that, but I'll
yeah.
wait.
There was a couple of games that came to Game Pass. I think you're playing one, Pentiment and Somerville. Was the one I
Yeah.
had my eye on, but I have not played it yet.
Yeah. So I can talk about the first 20 minutes of Pentiment, which is as far as I've made it. Um, Started it on Xbox. Started setting up my character. Playing it with my wife. Look over at her, and she's got her eyes closed. So I'm like, all right, you're not into this, and I really wasn't either. It seems very, very well made. It's made by the It's made by Obsidian, but it's written by the guy that wrote Rainbow Six, not Rainbow Six, sorry, Fallout New Vegas. I said Rainbow Six
Oh,
Vegas, but Fallout New
okay.
Vegas, which actually is like has a really well told story in that
Yeah.
one. Um, it seems very well made. Seems like it's got a cool story with it. I think if I would stick with it, I would probably get into it. Might be a good stream game, honestly. Um, but you know, it's just reading, um, and it's like a 20-hour game,
Okay.
and it just like that's just a commitment that I'm like, eh. I'm playing Tales of Arise right now, and there's like in Tales of Arise, there's like 6 major sections to this game. I'm on the 6th section, so I'm wrapping that one up. I should be done by the next time we record. I've been playing Neon White. Are you familiar with Neon White?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so Neon White is like a level-based run game where you can play levels in like a minute, and at the time, and it's you try to perfect it, and it's like chasing that high score. Um, a lot of people got into the aspect of like competing with your friends because like as soon as you finish a level, it's like you got bronze or silver or gold or beyond gold, and then here's your friends list and here's what they got. So it like very much is trying to be like that competitive game. How I'm playing it is I shoot for gold. If I get gold, I move on to the next level. Um, but it's cool. So what you're doing is, do you ever play like I don't know, like Bit Trip Runner or one of those like running like rhythm style games? Because that's really what this is. It's a 3D game, and so
Hmm.
you're just running, but there might be you're picking up like a card, and a card might be a gun that you can like as you're running and like doing like parkour things through the level. There will be like monsters that you're shooting, but there's a secondary action with the card depending on what type of gun. It might be that you throw a sticky bomb, so then you can take out like a cluster of enemies. So you're running, you see one enemy, and then you see a cluster of enemies. So then that tells you, I just need to throw this card at them to blow them up. But you can also use that because if you're in the impact area, it'll like shoot you up. So
Oh,
then you're
okay.
timing all this stuff. You're like, okay, I'm going to shoot this guy, throw this bomb, and I'm going to jump. And then I'll use that to get me up to the next place that I need to go, and then I'm grabbing these other cards. But again, I love it. It's the perfect Steam Deck game. It runs so good on there. But I can grab my deck and play it for like 10 minutes and like get a level or two in, and then be like, okay, I'm good. Like
Okay.
it's
Okay.
just really really it's
Pick up
good
and
for
play
that.
game.
Yes, very very
Yep.
good. Um, I did try Persona 5. I get probably 4 hours into it, but with the news of like, hey, Witcher 3 is coming back, baby. It's December 14th. Be there. And I'm already like committed into that. I'm like, okay, Persona 5's got to sit. Um, there's this game that just dropped called Soccer Story, which is I think like Golf Story was like a pretty popular game on the Switch. It was like an indie game where you're just like walking around this town just golfing the shit out of things. This seems like it, except like soccer is forbidden, but you have this soccer ball and it's just like there's goals everywhere that you're trying to, and it's like it's like 8-bit, 16-bit style like sprites. Um, I played just like a little bit of that because it is on Game Pass. Um, But yeah, so I think if I can find a lull at some point next year, I think Pentiment might be a good one to like try and really invest some time into. It is just very much like kind of what we were doing with Norco there a little bit, where you would
Right.
see, you'd see something, then you'd kind of have to like look at this book to and like and it's very religious. And I'm not a religious person. Religion is very interesting, though, even if you are or not. But it's during the time, I think, when the printing press was becoming a thing. So then religion was
Right.
getting more and more out there. Um, this isn't pro or for or against religion. It's just set in that time frame. So I've been playing a lot of random things, but sticking with Neon White and Tales of Arise. I should finish Tales of Arise before we meet again. And I don't know, before we meet again, yeah, it's I will probably pick back up on The Witcher. So
Mm,
man, that looks pretty good.
yeah, it is.
um so that's it for gaming for me. Did not pick up Pokemon. That will be that'll sit under the Christmas tree, I'm sure. So
Yeah, yeah.
man, did you see, not to like jump to our news section, but that game sold 10 million copies. It was the fastest selling Pokemon
Yeah,
game of all time, and it runs like shit. Oh
yeah.
my gosh, I've seen just so many bad, and people are like, it's as bad as Cyberpunk. And it's like, I don't think it's that bad, but it's still really bad. And the fact that
Uh,
they've been making this same game for 20 plus years now, and it still runs like this. Like Arceus was fine. You know, that game
yeah.
had its problems, but
I think that makes it worse than Cyberpunk because they just made this video game a year ago, and while
no,
it didn't
January.
like, yeah, I mean, it didn't set like the world on fire graphics wise, but it ran fine.
hmm
And this game, literally, like the NPCs will like stutter across the
Yeah.
screen. I watched, again, I talk about them every fucking episode. Digital Foundry did a great like side by side of Arceus and Violet,
Mm.
and was just like, why is this game so bad? Like, what are they doing? Like, it was really bad.
There was a really good video I saw of someone. There's a windmill.
Yes.
And hey,
Yep.
did you
That was
watch
in
that?
there.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. They watched
Yep.
they made the character back away from it, and you would see the frames dropping on the
Yep.
windmill to the point
Yep.
where it was like, I don't know, maybe 2 frames a second or something. I mean, it was really bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and
No, that thing's a mess.
yeah,
Big mess.
hopefully. And it's like, will they patch it? Like, will they fix that, or is that it? Like, do they
Oh
do
man, I don't know.
interviews? Who's talked to Game Freak about anything? You know?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They probably don't feel like they need to.
No, so 10 million copies. They're going to do the
And they'll
same
just
thing next
release a
year.
new one next year. Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah. I mean, what's the point?
Oh man. That's all gaming for me. What else you got going on? How you liking
Uh,
Arcane?
I'm liking it. I'm kind of chipping away at it here as I start to ride my bike indoors again. And watching that as I ride my bike. Um, I'm 5 episodes in. I'm almost done with episode 5. Um, it's really good. It gets a little dark there, like
Oh
in
yeah.
the first third of that. Kind of caught me off guard. Um, but yeah, I need to commit to that and finish it. So, um,
Unfortunately, it kind of stays dark. Um
it yeah, I'm picking up on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first episode was kind of fun, and then yeah, there's a big thing that happens with some main characters, and you're just like, oh shit, okay, all right. Well,
Yep.
this is that type of show. I get it. So
Right. Yeah. I guess the thing that I haven't looked up yet, and you may not know, but like, are these characters in League of Legends, or is this just in the League of Legends universe?
I think it's a mix. I do think
Okay.
some of them are new,
Like
and
is
I
like is
could be
Vi is
wrong.
Vi or V or however you say her name or
I think
Jinx, like,
they
are they
are, but I
characters?
think the main like scientist guy, I'm blanking on his name. The one that's
Talus?
making the one that's
Talus. Yeah.
I think he might be in the just in the show.
Oh, okay.
Um, but I know the little guy. I'm pretty sure he's in the game. I mean, that game has so many characters.
Right.
Um, and I played that RPG for a little bit, and I think even then, I think there were some characters, in there as well. But Um, yeah, I don't quite know. I just know that my kids and I we really really liked that show. It was very pretty and interesting and well written.
Yeah, no,
It was fun.
it seems really good. Yeah, okay, I'm looking at the character list. Jinx is in there. Heimendinger is in there.
Yeah,
You
Heimendinger. That's who I was thinking of.
yeah. Um, see. Oh my God, there's so many characters.
Yep.
Yeah, it does seem like it might be a mix for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah, like there's several police officer type characters that you get to know in the show. Like, are they all characters in the game? Probably not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Probably not. Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah. There's 140 characters in
That you
League
can
of Legends.
play as in
Yeah.
oh my god.
I don't think that's as many as Dota yet. So yeah, they're
Well,
getting
hey,
there.
wonder if that Dota anime is pretty good. I have not watched that.
I haven't watched it either. No, even that's too intimidating for me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I did have a period where I was really into uh, those games.
Oh yeah, the mobile ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Big time.
What was that called?
Vainglory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vainglory. Yeah,
Vainglory. I was really good at that game.
dude, you were
That
selling
game
the shit out of me on it.
that game was really good. And I stand by that. That is a great what are those games called? What's the genre?
MOBA. So
MOBA. It's a
is that
great
still
MOBA.
around? I mean,
No, it's totally dead. Like
oh
there's
no.
the company like kicked it to the curb and then I think like the fans like have a server running so you can get on and play it, but it's
Oh,
just
nice.
trash. Like it's
Oh man.
yeah. No. No,
Damn.
man. I probably put 200 or 300 hours into that at
How much
least.
money?
No monies.
Wow.
Did never spend any monies.
Damn.
No.
It's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, you could have. Maybe I should have. Yes, I don't know.
Poor company.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Um, have you not been watching Andor?
I have not. I wanted to wait till the whole thing came out, which I think it just had its last
Yeah.
episode. So now I'm gonna watch that as soon as I finish up Arcane.
Dude, I've heard a lot of good things about that show.
I have two, but all the people I'm hearing it from are extremely biased.
Oh,
So I've got to kind of take their feedback with a grain of salt.
sure. Yeah.
Because anything that comes out that's Star Wars, they love.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's on the list for sure.
Yeah, okay. Let's see here. I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special
Okay.
that just came out. Um,
Weird.
Mainly focuses on Mantis and Drax. And
Okay.
in this, they want to bring Christmas to Star-Lord, and they hear good things about how Kevin Bacon has saved a lot of people,
What?
but they don't understand that he's an actor. So what they do is they go to Earth to kidnap Kevin Bacon and bring him to Star-Lord as a present. It's about 40 minutes. It's
Okay.
like, you know,
I
it, it
mean that fits with Star Lord's like obsession with 80s music. So
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It makes sense in like the universe and how they
He
explain it and
yeah.
stuff.
He's got some footloose on that mixtape for
Yes, he
sure.
does. Right. And so yeah,
Okay.
he's obviously talking about 80s movies that he liked. Probably a lot of Kevin Bacon, but to them they're just like Kevin Bacon saved all these people. This is great. Um so it was fine, kind of forgettable, I watched it and it has some stuff that will, I'm sure, need to carry along, but it'll be just those like little Easter egg things, like somebody like Groot received a Game Boy, and
Mm.
you think do you care if I spoil something? It's really not a big
No, I'm
deal.
never gonna watch it.
Okay,
Nope.
thank you. So in like I think it was Infinity War, Groot or sorry, Rocket met up with Bucky Barnes, the one with like the
Oh,
metal
okay.
arm, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Um
Yeah.
and he was just like, "I want your arm." Like that's what Rocket does. He's a thief and he just wants to steal cool shit. And so he was just
Right.
like, "I want your arm." Well, in this, he receives it as a Christmas present. So I'm sure at
Okay.
some point during one of these movies, like the Secret War or something, Rocket will meet up with him and there will be a line exchanged. And I'll know
Mm.
it's from that fucking Guardians holiday special. So it's like that's what it set up. It's just setting up little jokes that I'm sure will take place, a couple years down the road or something. So, um, overall, it was fine.
Uh,
Still watching Dragon Ball Super. It's like a every morning thing. Well, not every morning, but some mornings. I think we're 90 episodes into that.
holy
Um,
cow.
yep, it's not that great, man. Um, Also watching this show called Chainsaw Man. Um,
Okay.
it's very good. You should stay away from it. It is the most of anime. It is
All
the
the
most
anime.
it's the
Okay.
most anime thing. It's like watching uh watching what's the action movie with all the action stars in it?
Expendables.
Expendable. It's like that, like going super hard. That's
Okay.
what this is. It is this guy. He's Chainsaw Man. His arms and a chainsaw will shoot out of his head, and he just fucks shit up. And he's motivated by boobs. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous, but for some reason, it's very pretty to look at. Interesting characters. It's got heart. It's good. Don't watch it though. It's not for you. It's barely for me. Um, like I even watch it on the iPad. I'm like, I don't even want to put it on the TV where my wife can judge me. She wouldn't judge
Right.
me, but I just nope. This is just my little thing. Like it's just for me. Um, and then my daughter, she's interested in anime a little bit. She watches like a couple things, and I've been trying to get my son like, hey, let's maybe take a break from Dragon Ball Super. Let's check out My Hero Academia. Everyone always talks about this show. I don't know anything about it. We should watch it. We watched the first episode. My daughter's like, I like that. My son's like, nah, it's not for me. So now I got my daughter into anime. So now I'm
Mm.
watching this with her, watching Dragon Ball, then watching Chainsaw Man by myself. And then as a family, we're watching Spy Family. So I'm in the middle of watching like 4 different animes right now. Um, and then I watched The Atom Project, which is a pretty decent movie on Netflix with oh my gosh, the Deadpool guy, him,
Ryan Reynolds.
yes, Ryan Reynolds,
Yep.
and the Hulk is in it too. But that was
Mark
a
Ruffalo.
yeah, that was a good little sci-fi movie. And Gamora is in it too. Zoe Zeldana, I think's her name.
Aldana. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Jennifer
So
Garner.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Hmm.
Pretty decent little movie. We watched it with the kids. I think they drop an F bomb once in there. Not too bad.
Hmm.
That's it for me,
I
man.
didn't even know that movie existed. Now I know.
I think it was like a Netflix only release. My wife's been wanting to watch it for the longest time, and finally she was just, Saturday night, nothing going on, let's watch it. What'd you think about the Mario movie trailer?
So yeah, was that yesterday?
That
Was
was
that yesterday?
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday I'm
I
just
didn't
on my
watch the
phone
45
and
minutes that it took to get to it, I guess. I guess that like the lead up to it, there was a lot, and I have not watched that. I don't think I will, but
Oh
I
yeah,
did watch
no,
the trailer.
I got the trailer on something, and it's like, here, you were gonna want to watch this. Whatever app I was on. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, yep, I do want to watch that. Um, yeah, immediately caught me off guard because like it shows Mario like going to fight Donkey Kong, and I was
Hmm.
like, oh shit, like they're going right into this. Like this
Right.
isn't just gonna be Mario jumping on Goombas with Bowser. Like they're gonna bring Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong was there, fucking Princess Peach is there, and then it just like like you get that little piece of it, like that 20 seconds,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, they're gonna kind of go into this a little bit, and then the next minute and a half is just them leaning into it and
It's
just cranking
shoving,
everything up as far. It's like, oh,
shove it all in.
fire flower,
Yep.
fucking what is it, the kabuki suit,
Sure.
fucking
Tanuki.
oh, fucking go-karts.
Yep.
We're gonna ride a go-kart, and as soon as they went off the ramp on the go-karts and went through the clouds, like they're gonna land on Rainbow Road, aren't they?
Yep.
Yep, they did. I I was just like, oh fuck. And then yeah, and then there's like a 3D Mario level in there, and he's like a training montage with Princess
Yep.
Peach, and I'm just like, oh boy, they had to have seen how well Sonic did, and I
Sure.
feel like they're trying to like go that kind of like snarky kind of way. I don't know if it's gonna be able to pull it off or not, but that's what they're doing. They're leaning very hard into this, like
Seems like Peach
very
can like
hard.
hold her own. You know, she was like twirling that fucking weapon, and she's like, "All right, let's go kick ass." So it's like, okay, this isn't gonna be. It doesn't seem like it's a rescue the princess. It's really just like Bowser's trying to destroy the world, and for some reason, this fucking plumber, because he is a plumber in this, it shows him, you know,
Yes.
fixing a pipe.
Yeah, it
Um,
one thing that caught me off guard was when Luigi is talking, he's not even trying to be Italian,
no,
and when Mario is talking, he's not until he is.
right?
Like in some ways he's not, and then
Yeah, they can't make up their
like
mind.
like when he's getting ready to run at Donkey Kong, he's like, "Let's a go," and I'm like, "What? Didn't you?
Yeah.
Nothing else. You did that. And you did that. I don't know."
Yep.
So I'm waiting. I'm sure they've already put up the Charles Martinet version of that trailer, so I'll
Yeah.
watch that, and then I'll wait for them to do the whole movie, and then
Yeah.
I'll watch that. I'll just download that from like LimeWire or something.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I didn't
because
like the Luigi voice.
I didn't either. It's the guy from Sunny, Always Sunny. Is
Yeah,
that the
and I
guy?
love Charlie Day,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
for some reason it just didn't do it for me.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna do really well.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if I'm gonna like it as much as I like Sonic, but we'll see. I mean, it.
Yeah.
I, I
I
I'm just surprised that with this being a Nintendo thing, that they are going this hard at it in this way
yeah,
with these
it's they're
characters.
not saving anything. I
Yeah,
mean, it's not like you know, Kabuki is like, or Tanuki or whatever the word is, you know,
yeah.
like we're not going
It
to
is Tanuki. It is Tanuki.
yeah, so it's like no, we're not going to save anything. Like as much as you can, much lore that you can get in there, put it in there. So,
And I bet the reasoning for that is for like offshoots. So like they'll do a Donkey Kong movie, and then they'll do
mm.
something else or whatever. Yeah, I'm sure
Is
that's the
Donkey
plan.
Kong popular enough to have its own movie now? I mean,
I mean,
he's
if you would have told me 10 years ago that Sonic would have his own movie and it would be hot shit, I would have told you you're crazy.
that's true.
They figured that out.
They did,
Yeah,
man. Those movies are fun.
they really were.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I will go and I'm not gonna walk away mad. I just think it'll just be like it just exists. Like, okay, that was a thing that I did, and that'll be about it. It'll be forgettable. I don't want it to suck though. That's I just be okay, and that's good. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
want it to be complete shit. But
Oh man, on the gaming front here, have you seen some of this back and forth between Sony and Microsoft over the Blizzard acquisition?
so what I've seen is Microsoft is like, we'll, as long as you all are making a PlayStation, we'll put Call of Duty on it. And then Microsoft's like, how about we'll sign a 10-year deal where for the next 10 years, which I don't know, as a like Activision developer that has probably been working on Call of Duty for, 10 years now, to see Microsoft making a 10-year deal, I don't know, man. I might just be like, we got to make 10 more fucking years of this shit. Like, come on. I don't know about that deal.
Yeah, so
Um,
I think it's in the EU where this is happening, but
yeah.
maybe it's across the board with the whole thing. But Sony basically like put out like basically a not a countersuit, but like a argument like you shouldn't let this happen. This is going to be bad.
Hmm.
Um, and their reasonings were that a lot of it was about Call of Duty. They don't want Call of Duty to not be on the PlayStation, and basically saying, "Oh, we if we don't have Call of Duty, then we don't have anything," and not like they're like really playing that up. And they're saying, "Oh, well, then Microsoft will be able to raise prices on games and raise prices on consoles," and it's like you just did that.
You
Your
just
new games are
did.
$70 and your
Right.
console's more expensive. Um, and then they're like, well, then Microsoft will have exclusives, and it's like, well, you have God of War and Horizon and all these other
And you
games.
just
Like
bought or you just bought,
just bought Destiny, yeah.
Bungie.
Or Bungie, yeah. It's just really funny to see them like, and then Microsoft response is like, bro, we don't have any exclusives. Have you seen the dog shit we've been putting out?
Right.
And they're like Call of Duty, and then their response is like, Call of Duty's not that big of a deal. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's not what it was. Like, Vanguard sucked. Uh, the one before that wasn't great either. You know, Ghost was the third one before that. Um, but
Blops 4,
Ops 4,
that one came and
yeah,
went, like people didn't
yeah,
care.
yeah. Vanguard came and went. Um, and then they're like, Sony has literally been leading the entire industry for 20 years in sales, and they're crybabying about we're getting like this one game is all they care about. It's like, yeah,
Didn't they come out and say like if this deal goes through, we'll actually be in the running with Sony in terms of revenue for their gaming space? It's not like they're going to totally eclipse them. I think it's like, they'll kind of be able to catch up with them if they get
I
this.
don't. I would doubt that because
Yeah.
Xbox has been third forever. Like they've always been third because worldwide, like on a worldwide
Right.
stage, and that's what this is about. And that's like Microsoft's argument. PlayStation just doesn't want. I think what PlayStation is thinking about is like their PlayStation Plus stuff. Like they don't want to. They don't want like something like Call of Duty to go exclusive, and then you have people that have a PlayStation and all they play is Call of Duty,
Hmm.
and then they lose those subscriptions. Like if they even lose like 5% of those subscriptions, that's a metric shit ton of money for that monthly subscription. So I bet it's more that like we don't want to lose subscribers. Not that we don't want to lose the game, but we don't want to lose people on the console. And that's kind of their argument, but it's
Uh,
also really stupid.
you're talking about exclusives. Look at the exclusive that came out for Sony this year. Fucking God of War Ragnarok, which people are like thinking could take out Elden Ring as like game of the year. And then look
Right.
what Microsoft put out. Fucking Pentiment, which is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this like pen and
Right.
paper style. Doesn't even have voice acting in it. You have to read the whole thing. Like fucking reader of the year.
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
mean, yeah, it's and like that's kind of the other thing that's happening is that's coming out from some of this is both Microsoft and Sony have said like we're not making another console until like 2027, 2028.
Mm, wow.
Mostly because of like how much work they had to do just to get to these consoles. And so last podcast we were talking about the Series S and like, is that going to affect, um, you know, development? And a lot. I've seen a lot of people say, yes, but some people say no. The people saying no are basically saying we're not even in the next gen yet. Like God of War Ragnarok was not a PS5 game. It's a
Right.
PS4 game that they like. We're still in that crossover period between two generations. Like we haven't seen like a true PS5 game like built from the ground up for PS5. You know, I think there's a couple coming, and same for Xbox. But
Starfield will be, right? I mean, that won't work on a Xbox One.
oh, I bet it will.
Really? Well.
Yeah, I bet it will.
Um yeah, and I mean, like, why can't they, and this is just, I'm not a game developer, but like, why can't they just offer graphics options, you know? Like optimize for
I,
this and
I
that.
think they can, but I think the PCs are getting so far ahead now because the Xbox and the PS5 is on like 2019 2018 hardware
Right.
basically by the time they get it into those consoles and launch them in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're already into 2022 2023 with new graphics cards, and you're seeing games come out that are running at 30 frames a second on these consoles, the brand new
Right.
ones. um the Plague Tale game runs at 30 at 4K. Like that was the big thing about this generation. It was supposed to be we're
4K
going to run at
60.
4K 60, 4K
Yep.
60, 4K. That's not happening.
You heard that
That's
number for
yeah,
all of 2020, essentially.
right.
You heard
That's not
COVID-19
happening.
and 4K 60. Those were the
And ray
two.
tracing, like you're not going to do 4K 60 with ray tracing on these consoles on some of these games.
No.
Not going to happen.
I can barely do ray tracing on my 3070,
Yeah, I
which is miles better than well, I don't know how much better it is than a Series X, but I know it's better.
it's quite a bit better. Yeah. Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how these next couple years go with Unreal 5, Unreal Engine 5, and how that affects development. But
Well, I wonder if
we're not
they, like,
we're
if
not
they
going to
can
see next
lean.
gen games for like another year or two
It makes you wonder if they
at
can lean
least.
more into like optimizing, because honestly, like if you um, look at Pokemon as a prime example, there's no reason that game should run like shit. But if they spent time to like
No,
optimize that engine, I mean, there are good looking games on the Switch. And I know I get it. Like Super Mario Odyssey looks miles better than that game, but it's also a different type of game. They're not trying to replicate an open world. And Pokemon Violet, I don't know if you know this or not, but it has online co op. If you buy the game and I buy the
mm,
game, I can jump in your world and we can go catch Pokemon together. So it's like already there. That's kind of Gotham Knights thing of saying we can't do 60 because we allow online co-op. So there are, we're rendering multiple things at the same time. Like we just can't do that. Um, but it just makes me think if something like Unreal 5, it can scale and be optimized to kind of be a little more fluid if they can get away with it, at least in like the PC gaming space, because console wise we're just stuck. I mean, what do? You don't do
right.
anything. You just buy it and just hope that these devs can work around it and make things better and better. I'm sure there's untapped potential in the Series X and PS5 that they just haven't got to quite yet. um so it'll be interesting to see, like, in 2025 what do games look like. Now, during that year we'll just be like, oh, I'm ready for the new consoles. But like, what will games look like when they're just PS5, Series X, and I guess Series S, but it'll have to be running at 30 frames a second or something, because that game can't do 60. It only does 1440p, which is weird because I don't know of a TV that does 1440p. So it just upscales to 4K.
Right. Yeah. Well, most of the games on Series X and PS5 aren't running it at 4K. They're running at some lower
But they upscale
resolution,
it.
and then it's getting upscaled. Yep.
Ah,
And even the Series S doesn't run at 1440p. It'll run at like 1200, 1280p,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
then upscale.
Upscale it.
It's very watching a lot of Digital Foundry. That seems to be the case. Is in order to hit 60, they use dynamic resolution scaling and render the game at a lower resolution and upscale it after the fact.
It looks good though. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
Put it next to each other. Put my Series S and an X next to each other. Sure, it'll blow it out of the water. But I don't have that luxury. I just went with the cheap option, and I'm excited to see. I really hope Witcher runs good on it. And I'm sure it'll look better than I'm playing. When that game come out? 20.
Yeah, that's an Xbox One game. I mean, that's a PS4 game. So yeah, it
2017 or something, earlier than that maybe.
Yeah, way earlier than that.
Wait, was that a PS3 game?
No, it was PS4.
Witcher 3. All right, Googling on the spot. 2015. 2015. Gosh, okay. Yeah, so that was Xbox One. I'm essentially playing that.
Yep.
I can't wait till the 14th, man. Hey, so I am going to be doing some traveling next week. So I'm going to miss this. But have you seen the nominees for the Game Awards?
Oh boy, no, haven't went through the list.
All right. So we'll just I've got the website here. So I just want to pick out a couple. First off, I think we need to look at the Game of the Year.
Okay.
So I don't quite know how these were selected, but you can make an account and like vote on this. It seems like it is community driven for the actual voting process, which is fun. So, Game of the Year. Game Awards 2022 airs December, pulling up this calendar. I think it airs the 8th or the 9th. But I will unfortunately be out of town. I'm probably not at a spot where I will be able to watch this. So I'm excited for the trailers. I'll be watching Twitter or Mastodon or whatever people are on now,
Yeah.
But
oh boy.
Oh geez. So I'll keep my eyes peeled on whatever to see what's going on. But here we go.
Don't make a Mastodon account.
What is it? What's the other one? Hoot or
Hive Social? Yeah, don't.
Hive. Okay, yeah.
Hive is a little more promising, but don't make a Mastodon account.
But it seems like everyone's going with Mastodon.
It's not going to work.
Oh, I don't mean to call this person out, but I did see Will Smith was like, "Hey, I'm out of Twitter. Here's all my socials." And then, like, not even 5 hours later, he was retweeting a bunch of stuff. So I'm like, okay, yep. What are we doing?
That's what everybody's done. Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm gonna write it out. I don't give a shit. It's not going away. Okay, Game of the Year. Here we go. A Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That's it.
So that's Xenoblade. That's the game that runs really good on Switch, right?
Yeah. Okay. Really good on Switch though is very loose, So say.
Well, I mean, like in comparison to Pokemon.
Yes, yeah. So it is an open world game that runs on a Switch.
Okay, so Stray is a big standout there. I've not finished that yet. We played a little bit of that. That seems like a cute game. Don't think it belongs on this list.
No, it does not.
Really crazy happens with that kitty cat.
I don't understand how A Plague Tale is on here. I don't understand how Horizon Forbidden West is on here.
People really like Plague Tale. I think the EU needs to look into PlayStation giving fucking Jeff Keighley money. That's what I think.
Right? Yeah. One Nintendo game, dude. I would come on, throw some Kirby on there. Yeah, one indie I I don't know. I don't know who I would swap these out for. Um, but these aren't. Elden Ring will be in my top, even though I didn't finish it. That's still some of the funnest video gaming I've played in a very long time. Um, that just seemed interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, here we go.
I
December 8th.
I don't see a world where that Elden Ring doesn't win.
Yeah. Right. Same here. Best performance. Okay. So these are actual actors. And looking at this, so Ashley Birch for Horizon, Charlotte McBurney for A Plague Tale, Christopher Judge, God of War. I don't know if I would, and he's like the God of War. That's Kratos. He does a remarkable job as Kratos. But I want to see. I would like to see the Odin voice actor in there, which is
Oh,
the guy
can't remember his
from.
name. He's a character actor.
Yeah, he's awesome. Um, and he does his voice as Odin,
He's
which
from The
is
West Wing. He's from The
yes,
West
which
Wing.
is I loved every episode of that. I would probably give it to Man Engage from Immortality. I would have to say that's who I would give that to. Um, not playing any of these other games though, so
Nope.
that'll be. I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't play these three, and I did not play Plague Tale, so give it to Manon. She was pretty incredible.
You know what should be on Game of the Year? Tiny Tina.
You know what? I had a great time with that game.
I did too. That
Um,
was a good video game.
but does it? It would beat Stray.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
But if they're kind of doing this thing where they're like they need to represent like an indie game, um, I guess Stray makes sense. But like best indie is Cult of the Lamb. It's fantastic. Neon White, I'm enjoying myself with it. Sifu, Stray, and Tunic. A lot of people like Tunic. I clashed with it. Could
Oh
not
man.
get into it.
Yeah. Oh.
Um, I really liked Cult of the Lamb. Um, I'd say one of those two would get my vote. I think Stray is gonna sweep. I think just a lot of people really liked that game. And it was pretty unique.
Mm.
So any other categories here? Best ongoing, best mobile game, innovation and accessibility, best action game, action adventure, role playing. Hold on, I gotta look at role playing real fast.
Yeah.
Elden Ring, Live Alive, Arceus, Triangle Strategy, Xenoblades. Elden Ring will take it. No questions asked. Best fighter, best family game.
Here we go.
Kirby, Lego Star Wars, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Switch Sports, Splatoon 3. I would probably say Splatoon will probably take that one. Although I really want to play this Mario and Rabbids game. I think that one looks pretty fun. I loved Kirby. Kirby was time. Anything jumping out at you? Content creator of the year. I probably don't know any of
No
those.
Rogue Legacy 2?
Yeah, no. It wouldn't be under debut indie, even though I do want to look at that. Yeah, no, Rogue Legacy 2, which
No Norco?
is probably my my indie game of the year. So debut is there we go. Neon White, Norco, Tunic, Stray, Vampire Survivors. Easily give to Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
Really liked Norco. I think it fell apart towards the end though, unfortunately. What else? Scroll to the bottom. See. Esports.
When did Inscription come out?
Last year.
Last year?
Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, one more. Let's look at this one. Most anticipated. What is your most anticipated game?
Oh boy, it's probably Starfield, honestly. I know that's
Mm.
kind of a cop out.
Eh,
Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to like the Callisto Protocol. Um, that
that
game
comes
seems
out
kind of
this year,
cool.
or unless it got pushed. Did it get pushed?
Yeah, sometime soon. It's coming out soon. Um,
Callisto
yeah, let me look for upcoming games here.
2022.
Yeah, I think it's right at the end of the year here.
There we go. Full playthrough already leaked online. Boom.
Sweet,
Let's just watch
great.
it.
Yeah, there we go. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've got so much other shit I could play. Redfall. I mean, that's another Bethesda game that's coming out early next year. Um, Alan Wake 2 is supposed to be 2023.
Hey.
Diablo 4. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, I
Obviously,
probably
I want to.
Starfield.
I want to check out Final Fantasy 16. I'd say Starfield's mine. Um, yeah, there's a lot coming out. I've always wanted to play Suikoden. They're remaking the Suikoden series. That'll be fun. Hopefully.
You know
Um,
that Hogwarts Legacy game looks pretty crazy. I keep
yeah,
seeing clips of that, and I'm like, wow, that's
maybe
looks
there's
kind of good.
something there.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Avalanche Software. What are they known for? Why do I know that studio?
Just Cause, Just Cause.
Oh wow. Okay. Huh.
Yep, that's what they make. Definitely Destiny Lightfall when that comes out. I'm gonna play that.
Mm. Is that
Uh,
February?
that is early. Yeah, that is February
Yeah.
28th.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
Ooh, yeah, that's pretty high on the list. I forgot about that for a minute.
Yeah. So Game Awards has Final Fantasy
Oh shit! I
16.
mean, fucking Zelda.
Yeah, they got Zelda on
Fucking
here.
fucking Zelda comes out.
RE4. You should play Resident Evil 4. It's a good
I
one.
don't know. See if it runs how it runs on PC.
Oh right. Yeah. Excuse me.
Mm.
Okay, let's sweep through here one more time and see. Um I Best mobile game, if Marvel Snap is on here, I'd say it'll probably take it. Apex Legends, Diablo Immortal, Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap, Tower of Fantasy. I don't know what that is.
There's a new Marvel game coming out soon.
Yeah,
Midnight
Midnight
Suns.
Suns. Yeah.
Is that's like an XCOM? That's
Yeah.
from the people that make XCOM, right?
Yeah. And reviews hit today and have been pretty solid.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Huh.
that might be one. There's a lot of those types of games coming out. I mean, honestly, Divinity is a lot like that. It's just, your spells and things like that, but it's just positioning people. I mean, you had Mario Rabbids, um,
Right.
and then yeah, Marvel Midnight Suns is coming out. Um, people have been playing oh my gosh, Baldur's Gate 3 this year. It won't have 1.0 till next year, but there's there's a lot of games like that that are out. So, are you gonna watch this? You think?
No, probably
Okay.
not. I'll watch like the trailers that get announced and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I think they do a good job putting it on. It's like a pretty high production value, so
Yeah,
all the props. I It's a little too cheesy for me.
yeah. And I think a lot of people, obviously this stuff is all paid for, but and it seems obvious, but when the Family Game won, was it last year? It Takes Two,
Yeah, it takes two. Yeah.
and like then people were like, aren't they like good buddies?
Yep.
And it's
They
just
are.
like, what are you doing? you know
Yeah.
but then it's
Yeah.
just like, of course it is like that, like duh. But oh well. Oh, hold on, one more. Best ongoing. What is the best ongoing game right now? Apex
Destiny
Legend,
2.
Destiny 2, Fortnite. Fortnite will
Oh,
probably win.
never mind.
Yeah,
Fortnite will win.
Final Fantasy 14 and Genshin Impact. You know what? I don't even know what Genshin Impact is. I know
That is
Polygon
that
writes an article every day about it,
that
but
game is hot. That game is because you can switch between the console and mobile.
yeah, but like, what is it? Like,
It's like an open world RPG.
what is it? What are you saying, Rich? What does
What
that
do you mean? What
mean?
am I saying? It's an
What
open
is an
world RPG.
like? What kind of RPG? Every fucking game that I've played this year is an open world RPG.
I mean, what do you want? It's got anime in it. I don't know. Is that anime?
This is totally fucking anime.
That looks anime to me. I mean,
I'm
look at
on
them.
Genshin.hoyover.
Oh,
But like, what are you doing in it?
leveling up, buying things that you do on an online game. I think it's like an MMO, like you can play co-op and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I've just seen the name 1,000 times, but I just haven't spent the time to
Genshin
even.
Impact is an action role-playing game developed and published by MiHoYo. It was released on Microsoft, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
It's an online-only adventure.
Okay.
So, and I know you can fucking right here. Out game Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact is an open world action RPG.
Okay. You can keep saying that, but like, I just. Is it like Final Fantasy 14? Is it? Do you have
Uh, I don't know. I
presumably?
you're assuming that I know what that's like.
Sure.
What
Yeah.
is that like? Tell me.
I mean, I'm looking at a lot of pretty anime girls.
Okay,
So is that what this game
I'm
is?
yes. I think you can fish in it too.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It has to have fishing.
Tales of Arise has fishing, and it's pretty solid. Anytime I see a lake and I can walk up to like that part of it, I fish and catch one fish. It's fun. I'm like, okay, just one, and then I'll walk away. Get my little Steam achievement every now and then. Here we go. That's a screenshot that I can understand. Okay.
Yep.
That's what this is. Why is it so popular though when there's 1,000 of these? It's free, right? That's what it
Yes.
is. Okay.
Yeah, it's free to play.
All right. That makes sense. Okay. There's a cat. I'm sure that helps it too.
Yep. Yep.
All right. What else you got?
Oh man, I got nothing.
Okay. What's the rest of the year look like for you? What's coming out? Are you gonna play that Midnight Suns? You gonna pick that up? Runs good.
No. No.
Anything on Game Pass coming out? You gonna check out Pentiment?
No, I'm gonna play that Somerville game though. That's from the Inside and Limbo people.
Maybe wait a bit.
Why?
I guess it's got some technical flaws with it,
Mm,
and
okay.
I to me, I mean, we received review code for Limbo.
Good.
I had a hard fucking time reviewing that game because I couldn't just Google it. There was
Yeah.
no guides, there was nothing. So I figured it out, which kind of proud of that. But Inside was fun. I thought Limbo was better. I hear Somerville is good. It's short.
Yeah.
But the couple of podcasts I've listened to, people are like, give it a little bit. Like there are like game breaking things that happen, and they just need to patch it. Seems. I want to play Somerville. Like I've loved both of their previous releases. So, I will. I'll probably ride out The Witcher for the rest of the year. Play some Neon White, pick that up when I can, and yeah, it'll be probably The Witcher. So,
Yeah, I really want you to get through those DLC. DLC are just amazing.
So we will record on the 14th and then the 28th. I'm sure we'll do some Game of the Year stuff on the 28th. Figure out what all we've been playing this year, what we've liked, what we didn't like. So stick around for that. But you got anything, or are we gonna wrap this up?
Now let's wrap it up.
Alrighty. Thank you all so much for watching, for listening, for streaming this. If you want to check out any of our past shows, you can go to bitpunch.tech, and you can send us an email at emails@bitpunch.tech. You can follow us on Twitch at BitPunch. You can follow us on Twitter, for now, at BitPunch. You can also check out you can check out our archive streams on our YouTube channel at /user/BitPunch. Then you can check out our newsletter at bitpunch.substack.com. All of these links can be found on our website at bitpunch.tech. Oh, hit the wrong button. And that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
We will be back in a couple weeks. Have a good night.